Oh, and welcome to another episode of the G Spot,
It's the growth spot, baby.
where you got to grow.
Or you got to go.
All right, so this evening we are tackling this hot topic, faking orgasms. But before we get into that, do you have 5 seconds or 5 minutes of, I don't know why I want it to be 5 seconds. So 5 minutes of frustration?
You know, my frustration taken out a different way.
He said he don't want to talk about his frustration.
Yeah, it's
All
taken out a
right.
different way.
Well, um, I do have 5 minutes of frustration. What you saying?
Well, we need to discuss. All right, it's a bad weather day today, people. So we're a little bit short of our colleagues. We wish them well. Hopefully, they're safe, and secure and sheltered in place. Because there was some real wicked weather out here today, and some of them weren't able to make it here. But our hopes and our prayers are with them and their family, and make sure, you guys stay safe. That's the most important thing there is for you to be safe. So I wanted to say that.
All right. So my 5 minutes of frustration is really more of a motivational speech.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
So I just want us as a people
Hmm.
to understand that the worst person you could lie to is yourself. We have to be honest with ourselves when we can't be honest with anybody else. We have to walk in our own truths. So I'm frustrated because I see some really awesome people. I've come in contact with some really awesome people that are kind of stagnant in their growth and in their impact because they're not true to themselves. So that's my only thing that I have to say that's been on my heart all week, since last week actually. It's just people walking in their truth and being honest with
Well, well,
themselves.
there's something you got to understand. If people are a certain way, that's always been in them. It doesn't matter how you unfold the paper or pull back the onion. That is always in them. So it's been in there for the beginning.
Right.
I mean, people put on, like we've talked in this series so many times about putting on faces. One of the greatest things that I've gathered from this whole series from February 1st until today is the change in myself. You know, this has been beneficial in some of the things that I've been lacking as a person. So my growth is happening.
That's awesome.
But, some people don't want that growth. You understand? Because it's more comfortable for you to hide who you really are than to actually confront it.
Wow.
That could go from relationship wise as well as you taking that look in the mirror about yourself.
Right.
So you have to understand that some people aren't ready for that type of growth and some people aren't ready for that type of conversation.
Yeah.
So you have to let people go at their own rate. So to say, you can't force, certain people to understand you. Simple mathematics. Furthermore, and if people are what they call picking and choosing friends because of somebody don't like somebody, y'all weirdos. Something wrong with y'all because y'all don't garner people for who they really are. So you're gonna have that segment in life that does that. That's not adults. That's not grown people style either.
Right.
Because we don't do that. If I like you, I like you. I'm not gonna
Right.
dislike you because you and somebody else have a quarrel with
Right.
each other.
Right. Right.
That has nothing to do with me.
Right. Yeah.
So
I agree.
just wanted to say that.
All right. Well, We're going to dive into this topic about faking
Oh, yeah.
orgasms. Oh, Lord.
Faking orgasms.
They say, what this got to do with the community?
What?
Well, we got some mad, angry, bitter, hostile folk around. They could probably use one of these things or two.
Okay, you want the man or you want the woman first? Which one you want first?
Go ahead, take off.
So you want the man first. So y'all know I'd like to give you the definition and the reasons why. So as a man,
So you're saying that men do fake orgasms?
yes, we do.
Okay. I just want to make sure
Yes, we do.
we clear men fake orgasms.
Listen, if that thing ain't okay, I'm gonna have to put out the disclaimer. If that
Plug the kids' ears
Yeah,
tonight.
plug the kids' ears tonight. This is grown folk conversation right now. If that thing ain't hitting right, then listen, a man is a right brain dominant, so we deal with a lot of things in a hunting atmosphere. So the scent of smell, even if it looks like roast beef,
Wait,
ground beef,
wait.
hamburger.
Wait a minute.
Listen, we
Roast
just-
beef?
Yeah. Listen, if that thing look like roast beef, nah, we ain't
Hold up.
going. We ain't gonna
What?
do all that. Nah, we
Wait
ain't
a
doing all
minute.
that. Now, if you go ahead and dive in, that's on you. But some of us men, we are visual creatures. So if it looks like hamburger, we ain't. Nah.
I can't get the visual, but okay.
Well,
If it looked like hamburger or roast beef,
yeah, we ain't gonna
it
do
may
that.
cause the man to not have an orgasm.
So-
whatever that means. All right.
This is, we're gonna give you some of the reasons why.
Can you see the comments?
I can't see the comments.
You can't see the comments. Okay.
I mean, I'll get to them in a minute.
All right.
But we do it to make haste, to get the performance over with. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah, we'll do that real quick. Just like, all right, let me get this over with right quick.
Wow.
Yeah, and we also would do it for premature ejaculation if we came too fast, that thing too good. We'll just.
So that's not faking then, right?
Well, you got to understand, it's a difference between climax and just getting a nut.
Oh
Excuse
wow,
my
you
French.
going you giving us the
Like I
whole
said, there's
biology.
We've covered that in a series before about, if a man has or a woman has an orgasm, there's a difference between them just ejaculate.
Right.
Orgasm is actually you're connecting with that person.
Right.
So it is possible that we'll just ejaculate and, we just gotta go. So for real,
You said gotta go.
we do it. Sometime another reason that we do it is protect our pride. We trying to make it seem like we got that performance going on, but we really ain't in it. Got to understand there's a lot of psychological things that goes on with the man also.
Men, y'all some weird folk.
Wait, now, hey, listen. You got to understand there's levels to us now. We're not just here and we have emotions. We have it all. So in the performance of sex or involving sex, we trying to make sure we pleasing our woman. You know what I'm saying? That's another reason. So you got to understand, if she's one of those type of women that like it 4 times, 5 times a day, you're like, oh, damn. Type situation.
You say that? You say no?
You can't help it. That's what I'm saying.
You can't help it for 5. So that's too much.
Oh nah, see, I'm a jackrabbit, so it don't matter to me if you telling me you want it 4, 5 times a day, but then
What your spread time is, though? Goddamn. Split shift.
I mean, if it's going to be on a split shift type situation, you also got to understand, dudes out here ain't taking care of themselves.
Yo, come on now.
So they stamina ain't up.
Right.
So if
That's
the
true.
stamina ain't up and he can't keep it up or he can't perform, that's a lack of health issues. Go take care of yourself. Because if you truly into your woman and she's saying she wanted 4-5 times a day and once on Sunday, okay, if your libido isn't like that, more than likely it's your testosterone is off. Because if you really into that woman, you're going to try and crash her head every day that you get a possibility. Now, the other side of the coin is if there's a psychological reason why you're not performing like that. Now, if there's a psychological reason where she's done put up that block or you've put up that block, you just like turned off. So you like, okay, you know, she ain't getting it. So fake it as you must. Ain't that's what they say? Fake it till you make it. So that's something that we do.
Wow.
So, and lastly, the reason that we may do it is just to get it over with. You just want to go ahead, see, you know, you out there with this chick and you want to see if it's really what she's saying. Is she popping what she's saying she popping? She ain't popping what she's saying popping. You gonna fake it until you make it.
Now that right there, I think that happens a lot more often than men would probably like to admit.
Well, guess what? Because you gotta understand, just like y'all test drive us, we gonna test drive you too.
Test drive, huh?
Yeah. Come on, Dad. Don't act like you ain't never test drive nobody before.
What?
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I'm a saint.
Okay. We're not. Well, I'm not a saint. I'm not gonna even lie to you. So, you know, certain times we do things like that. But is it to save face with the woman? Yeah, it's to save face with the woman.
Save face. It ain't what it's cracked up to be. So
Nah.
I'm getting the hell on up out of here.
And if it look like roast beef, we definitely
Roast beef and
ground hamburger,
ground
we ain't
beef.
doing that.
That 73% ground beef or 92.
We visual creatures, you gotta understand.
Oh my goodness, that is very, very, very interesting.
You gotta
I must
understand,
say.
we are very visual creatures. So, unless you run into a sapiosexual,
Yes.
which is somebody that's about the mind,
Right.
And the attraction is of the mind. But
Yes.
then if that mind look like roast beef, you gotta go.
So we right back in the same place. Yeah, I'm a sapiosexual.
Pretty much.
Yep. So I definitely agree with you on that. So I really don't have. I can only speak from the conversations that I've had with women as to why women fake, because I'm just not in the faking business. I'm just gonna be like, listen, we good.
What do you mean we good? Hold on.
This is over. You go over there, I'm going over here, and you know this ain't working out. So I ain't got time to be faking. But what I've heard is, you know, it's definitely lack of performance. More so. It's also, you know, sometimes women don't feel like it. They just don't feel like it, which is kind of related to the lack of performance.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been told that Disco mentioned it, you know, it's just kind of like stroking a man's ego, like he's not doing anything. But most women, as contrary to what most men may think, most women would prefer to stroke a man's ego in that area. We may not stroke our ego in no other area, but we would, because we know how sensitive that area is, right? And so we will stroke the ego in that area, because it's kind of like we hate to see y'all just, you know, sweating and just putting all your all in it, and we really want to be like filing our fingernails.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay.
But, you know,
So
we would prefer not to hurt y'all feelings like that.
y'all be sparing us. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Me personally, I can't do the sparing, so I would just stop it because I can't do the sparing. I'm just stop. Um, I can't do the sparing of the feelings. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sparing a man's feelings to you is
Lying to myself.
lying to yourself.
And I just talked about being true to yourself.
Oh, well, you gotta always be true to yourself.
Yeah.
Don't, you know. you
So
can't-
I think that when women do this, and I think that it happens more with women. I think women are the biggest predator in this area as far as the faking. And I think that when women do this, a lot of things happen. I think that it gives a man a false perception on his performance. It gives him a false perception on what actually pleases her or even other women. And a lot of men grow a false ego out of these fake orgasms, because he really believes that he's doing it. He really thinks that he, really doing something. And I don't think that we're helping men by doing that.
So y'all lying.
They are lying. They are definitely lying. Yes. Yeah.
But if a man knows you and pays attention to his woman's body, he should know when she's having an orgasm. Or
Not if she's never had one with him.
Oh. Damn.
And a lot of times,
Wicked tonight, huh?
well, I'm just being honest. A lot of times, a woman has not. If a man's performance is poor, then it's probably the norm. You know what I'm saying? So the faking for her is probably the norm. Coupled with the fact that studies show that only about 11% of women have an orgasm from penetration. Correct.
Nah, I
So
believe that.
that's a lot of women that's not. Even when the performance is good, just because of where the G spot. Hey, we talking about the G spot on the G spot. So just where the G spot is located.
But see, these are called teachable moments. So,
But we had this conversation when we were talking about why women cheat, and the men were not
That's
listening.
why I do everything.
Y'all didn't listen because when y'all kept saying teach, and we were telling you that most men are not receptive to teaching because they come into it, especially at this age, assuming that they already know. We can't teach them, we can't tell them, we can't show them, we can't nothing. So they feel like they already know. So it goes from, what should be a teachable moment to frustration, because I'm telling you what I need or what I want, and you're determined to do it your way. Hey guys, if you guys want to join in on the conversation, please give us a call at 678-638-6626. We are taking calls. So yeah, it's like
can't see the comments. So we have some comments. Let's see what they have to say.
can you see them?
I don't see them online.
Yeah, me either.
I read them to you.
Okay, cool.
And then y'all ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, you got Charles Huff. He said good evening to both y'all.
What's going
Patricia
on?
McPhee said good evening everybody. Love and loyalty says hello everyone. Charles Huff. I'll be the first to admit that I fall short sometimes, but I still have my eyes on my goals. Charles again, okay. Love and loyalty.
I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Forget all that. If he ain't hitting it right, he gonna get off me and I'll finish myself.
Oh, okay.
Okay, love and can
Patricia McPhee said I thought something was was really wrong with me. So when the percentage I just heard, I'm somewhat relieved.
yes, sis. Unfortunately, It's not you. I think that a lot of women think that it's them. Um, and I don't even want to say it's the men. It's a lack of education. We don't really know the opposite sex anatomy the way we should know it. You got another comment?
Charles, I don't know the hell she was doing, bro. He said, so is she faking when she starts to cry from climaxing, or tears coming out of her eyes, or after the sex is over, she is
Can I
still
put phone call to
shaking,
you?
laying beside you?
But see, you got to look at it in terms of this. If she's really into you like that, it's going to happen anyway.
Hey, caller. Who we got on the line?
Miss Chris again. How y'all doing?
Hey,
Miss Chris.
Miss Chris, that's the pork
AKA
chop
Miss
lady.
Boneless Pork. It's me. It's me.
She said that.
That's the boneless pork lady, huh?
I had to call back.
Okay. We appreciate
Y'all
you
speaking my
calling, man.
language at this time. Y'all speaking my language.
Yes.
Okay?
Let us hear it.
Well, first of all, I do want to say that I have found there's a percentage of women that don't know where their spot is, and so this is why it's hard for them to have orgasms.
Yes.
Okay? They don't know at what time to tighten it up, pull that kegel. They don't know what time to do that. A lot of women suffer in that area. They're just thinking, yeah, the penetration should get me there. No, you have to learn where your spot is and what position gets you there. It's not always, everybody's body's different. So you're not always going to achieve it, certain ways.
I agree.
But at the same time, men also have to learn your body. My body is different from Boom Chica's body, okay? Who's different from Angela's body. So when you're with someone, he has to learn your body as well. And I think, like we were saying before on the last show, it's a lack of understanding what goes into that whole sexual experience.
Right.
Okay, the penetration is a percentage of it. Where is the other part? Where's the passion? Where's the timing? Where is the mental part of it? All of that has to do with that climax.
Right.
So you have to do some studying. But again, what really do people think they have to learn? Nothing.
Right.
And so
That
now
part.
I'm in a position where, I have to fake it. I personally don't like to fake it. If I can enjoy you without coming and let you know, yeah, you were straight, but I didn't get there, bro. I didn't get there, But who wants that coach enduring it? I'm telling you to move left. I'm telling you to move right. You're not listening because he's trying to get his. So it's selfishness as well. It's a lot that goes into that faking. It really is. And because, like you said, the men's egos are so fragile, you just gotta, okay, baby, yes, one good time, because he'll be deflated. Men be deflated. They really do.
Listen.
Yeah.
Let me give it to you, Miss Chrissy.
Come on.
I appreciate your
Come on.
phone call. But not every man is the same, just like every woman isn't the same. So when you're telling a man that the passion isn't there, showing you how to get there, we're very learned creatures, autodidact creatures. So if you're telling us how to do it and we're actually into you, we're gonna listen. Now,
Okay.
understand you do have some of us out here that will Donkey Kong you, get on the bars and just be like,
Right.
all night.
That quick pump.
Yeah, that's some of us will do that. But if we're into you, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna take our time with you.
And you have men that do take their time, but they take their time not knowing what they're doing. So it's not a matter of
Right.
the
Exactly.
Donkey
They don't have
Kong
rhythm.
and we just
They
trying
don't have
to
anything.
It's all that.
it's not just the men that's just trying to hit it and quit it and keep it moving. It's just a lot of men have been told that all you have to do is this and your job is done.
They've never had any complaints.
Well, that's because
That's their favorite line.
listen, that's because that's what you're allowing. You got to understand, we're gonna do what you allow us to do. So
I get it.
if you want anal penetration, we gonna do that. if you want,
Stop right there.
Oh.
Stop right there. See. Now, how real on the Richter scale do we want to take this conversation?
Okay, let's go real.
Because I can assure you, there's a lot of men that's a limited when it comes to sexual acts. So if you might be into anal, I've had guys that ask me, "You're into that?" Because they've been wanting to try it and they never had a female that wanted to try it. You see what I'm saying? So don't just say that if I say it, they're going to do it. That's not always true because there's men that's limited.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're limited. They watch porn and they think that's how it's supposed to be. That's why, when I'm about to do something, you sticking your finger in my butt thinking that's what it is because you've been watching that since you were 16. That's not what it is. They're not learn. You have to learn your partner. It's about learning your partner.
Right.
It really is because there's women that's scared of anal. There's women that do it like 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? Again, learning, but don't make it seem like men are just, if I tell you to do something, you're going to do it. That's that's not the case. Especially if you think you got the pound game locked down.
Hold on now. I never said that. What I'm saying to you is that if that man is into you,
I'm telling you.
If he's into you, he's going to do it. You got to understand. What I mean by if he's into you is that he's taking you into account in the sexual act.
Listen, and because he has an ego, he thinks that what he's doing is taking you into account because he thinks that he is pleasing you. So
Correct.
in his head, what he's doing is considering you because I'm beating it however he think he's beating it, and I'm considering you because I'm getting you there. And you're telling them, no, it's not. And they're saying, yes, it is. Because like she said, they come into it with, can't nobody tell me nothing. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this 30 years. I've been doing this 40 years.
And my body might be actually responding to him. So
Okay.
I could have that moisture. So he's thinking he's really doing something. It's not like, what I'm saying, we just go dry. Because then it's like when a woman is dry, then they like, oh, it's a problem. I got to get that thing wet. But if it's wet and you're responding to it, then he's already thinking he's doing as much as he can. So me telling him to go that inch further is like, damn, baby, what you want me to do? Have a heart attack? No, baby, I'm just trying to tell you what it takes. I'm telling you what I need because you're going to bust. You're going to bust regardless. I've never been with a guy that's like, damn, I didn't come. Never. You got yours.
Do it.
So let's work on getting mine.
We do it.
And honestly, because the body is responding and you see there's moisture, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's something you are doing physically. It could be
Correct.
the mental connection. And a lot of times that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's the mental arousal, and I think men have to understand that most women, we ain't talking about the fly by nights and,
Right.
the kitty quitteds and one night stands and stuff like that. But most women, like we discussed, you know what I'm saying, G-Spot at Piedmont, is we're entering into this act because we want to be connected to you.
This is
And
what I'm
some
saying.
women got the macaroni in the pot.
Yeah, I
They got
believe
that. So you already halfway there because she already juiced up and she's waiting for you to do your thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a touchy stuff, but I don't feel the need to fake it, especially if we're supposed to be into each other. I'm gonna have to tell you, bro, this is not working. And then it gets frustrating for me because just like y'all get blue balls, we be back the hell up. Okay? And I don't want to have to be going to the sex shop and getting my hookup on. I need you to hook me up. So we gotta come together about what's happening. We really do. We really do. It's a lack of conversation and lack of understanding and lack of receiving when it comes to this thing. And it's sad because, it doesn't become pleasurable no more. Now I don't want to do it.
Right. Right.
Now I don't want to do it. Now you're like, oh, you must have somebody else. You cheating, you this, you that. All these things you start speculating. But it's like, no, bro, I want to enjoy it with you because I do have those feelings there. And I need the physical part, the intimacy part to come into play. And I'm not going to fake it. I've got up in the middle and walked out, to be honest with you. Like, bro, you know what? I'm cool. I just remember I left a pot on the stove back in Brooklyn. I'm going to go ahead and handle that. You straight. Like, I walked out of the situation because it wasn't working. It was frustrating. You sweating and all this and nothing is working out. Nah, bro, I ain't got time for it. But so as I got older, I got a little bit more tact, but still it's like, bro, we got to talk about this. We got to talk. So
thank you
that's
so
all
much
I wanted
for
to add, y'all.
Thank you for calling, Chrissy.
Thank you.
All right.
No problem. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good evening, caller.
Go ahead.
Hello. How you doing?
Hi.
Hello. Who do we have on the line?
This is Olivia.
This is Mrs. Huffster.
Oh, okay.
All right. How you doing, Miss
How you
Liv?
doing, Miss Olivia?
How you doing,
We're
sweetie?
doing fine.
For just to let y'all guys know
Hmm.
that Mr. Huff is on point when it comes to our bedroom. I don't have no complaints.
Hmm.
Okay.
So he needs to just be quiet and let y'all talk. Because he's
Well-
right on cue when it comes down. I do cry. And I do shake after it's over.
Okay.
Well, it's
There you
not the
have it.
question of the performance. What the question is faking. See,
No,
because
I don't fake. I don't have no reason to fake.
when you're
I explained to him how I like it. He understood what I was saying.
Mhm.
He worked on it. Now he executed.
Turn that TV down a little bit, mama.
we have feedback in the background.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
Now go ahead with your
Yes.
comment.
So, it takes a minute for a male to understand where a woman is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But once they get to that level and understanding and really want to work on it, it makes it a whole lot better.
Have you always
And then
cried?
I had to work on what he likes also.
Well, that's
So
a
we had to
two-way
come
street.
together on things.
Miss, have you always cried?
No,
Oh, okay.
You mean always
No.
like in her?
In your sex, yeah, when you have orgasms, have you always cried or just something new?
no, I never cried.
Oh, okay. So you were
Never.
a part of the other percentage of women that was faking, pretty much.
No, I never had to fake.
Oh,
It was
okay.
just the idea that I only had 2 relationships other than Mr. Huff.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for calling.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, honey.
All right. Thank you.
All
Mhm.
right.
She wasn't at home.
All right. So
Yeah, but
Don't you type not nothing?
yeah. Miss Olivia said,
Miss Olivia
don't
said-
type nothing else because
Miss Olivia
this
said,
ain't y'all conversation.
Yeah. This is for the people that fake orgasms.
Yeah, this for the fakers. This is
Yeah.
for the folk that faking. And I think, like Miss Chris was talking about, is a lack of understanding on both parts. Because one thing she did say is true is a lot of women don't know their own bodies, and they don't know how to communicate what they need. Another problem is a lot of women are too afraid to express what they need out of fear of the man feeling like, man, you want this crazy stuff, this is a little wild, or where you been, or where you learned this from, or, different things that sometimes men can be a little judgmental with a woman as far as her sexual desires. So she's not communicating what she needs out of fear of him feeling like, you have women that live in fear that if I show him too much of
Too
my
fast.
my sexuality or whatever, he won't take me serious. He won't marry me, or things like that.
One thing about me, for real, gonna make you laugh. I always had the concept, I'm gonna go down swinging. Like, it's gonna be 3 strikes. Like, I'm gonna do everything possible to you,
Hmm.
everything. So that way, if I'm gonna go down, damn it, I'm going down with everything I got.
Click the link, guys. I'm about to
You know
log
what I'm
on
saying? That's
Facebook.
just, I had that much pride.
Hmm.
So you know how we do in the crib,
Yeah,
We're
but
doing everything.
see, this is the thing. Once
we
we,
can. And after that, I can't.
but see, as we mature and as we, maturation happens, we become aware that there's different styles of things. So when the lady is calling in, or whoever is saying, all we thinking about is just the pound game. Pound town. No, we're not.
I don't think that. I don't think that. I honestly, I don't think that that's all men think. But I think that when men think they're doing what we're saying is when you think you're doing what we need or we want, sometimes it's not. So we're not thinking that you guys are aggressing towards it selfishly. I mean, it's kind of selfish because it's kind of your ego that's fueling you and not, in totality, your desire to please the woman. Because your desire to please the woman is kind of tied to your ego.
But
like
wait
it's
a minute.
an accomplishment for you.
Don't make it seem like men don't get turned off. Because we get turned off.
By no means am I saying that. By no means am I
We
saying
get turned off and that thing go, yeah, ain't happening.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that. So when you the both sides of the dynamic is that this, okay, if we're in this experience together, okay, if you're desensitized, which I'm hearing that a lot of women are becoming desensitized because of using certain instruments and whatnot, what have you. How is it possible for us to get you to that point?
There we go.
And you've been desensitized. You gotta understand. So it's like we fighting an uphill battle from day one in order to get you to that point. But yet still, y'all don't understand. Orgasm for us is that connection. It ain't just about, like I said, catching a nut. We can catch a nut anywhere. But when you get that spark with that woman, it's something totally different.
Right. And for us mentally it is, we just need the mental to match up to the physical. And I mean, I can't stress enough that enough men are not aware of the female anatomy.
This is true.
Enough men are not aware of how that all works. Enough men are not aware, they try to spend 5 minutes,
In foreplay,
and then they want to spend 50 minutes beating you down, and it's like you have guys that are trying to penetrate a woman and she's not even ready to receive. So that's painful as hell. Unless you got, you done found somebody who you go run a car through, maybe it's not painful for her. But, for the most women that are still intact, that's painful. So I think that we need to have more of these conversations. I think that we have to, on both ends, be more open, more honest. Women, please be honest. And men, please be receptive to a woman telling you that she wants something different, or it's not pleasurable to her or whatever. Some things you can't fix. If she's saying, it's a situation where, maybe your size is not compatible to what, she needs. I mean, it's not a whole lot we can do to fix that, and if that's what it is, then.
Well, there's a whole lot you can do to fix it now.
Well,
they have surgery for that too.
Well, whatever is in reason, everybody, and we're not asking nobody to do no unsafe stuff, and we're not advocating for fake butts and fake breasts, so we ain't advocating for fake penises either. So I don't want nobody to go up under any kind of.
Hey, listen, Dr. Miami was doing it for $600, wasn't he?
Yeah, I don't want nobody to do any of that. But if it's something outside of that, I do think that people should be able to communicate. Yeah, so for women, there is a lot of, you remember the conversation we had at the park. It's like a whole, more women are dissatisfied than satisfied, and I think this is what my thing is to women, is that the men are really not aware that women are this dissatisfied because of this faking, because the first thing, a man will say is, well, she said this, or she did that, or I saw this, or all these different things. And then even if he does ask, she's not being honest and say, like Miss Chris said, we good. I enjoyed the experience, but I didn't get there, and sometimes that happens, that happens a lot, again, because if we're connected to you mentally and emotionally, you know, we're more charged and satisfied with connecting with you physically than we are with reaching an orgasm. So for, you know, the majority of the time, the women may not, you know, in all honesty, it's just a pleasure to be able to please, you know, your man. So, but I think because we talk about orgasms, everybody need them, everybody want them, and we
But
have
not everybody's getting them.
a whole lot of people ain't getting them, and we need to have some. Y'all be asking like, I think we you know, we solved the mystery. Like they want to know why black women angry. Hell, that might be the reason. That might be the reason. All these angry women with attitudes. Come on, man, y'all want to solve the problem? Like,
But see, that's a whole nother topic.
learn what the
because
G
guess
spot
what?
at. Because I mean, the average man does not know how to get to the G spot or where the G spot is. We ain't talking about the growth spot either. So,
But see, that's the type of man that I was telling you about. There's different types of men.
Standard, I'm gonna say this again.
I know where it's at.
Okay,
I know
a lot
where
of
it's
men
at.
don't, and I'm confident enough to say most men don't. Most men have no idea because that's not a go-to area that they
No,
even try
not.
to. So if you know that is a place that produces a certain thing for a woman and you don't ever try to go there, to me it means that you don't really know anything about it, or you don't know how to get to it, you don't know where it's at, or you don't know something. I mean, because back to your point, if his purpose is, you know, to help her climax, then why wouldn't he be, you know, aggressing towards that spot? He don't know where the hell it's at.
A lot of that has to do with, like you said before, selfishness. So if you're a selfish type of person, you're not going to sit there and try and, you know, please your woman all the time. But then those relationships tend to fizzle out anyway.
I don't think that it's that. I think it is simply the fact that men do not know. If you ask most men, you could ask the men that's listening, how many of them knew or know that only 11% of women have orgasms from penetration. Most men don't know that. Most men automatically associate any type of, you know, body fluids or whatever they see, they automatically associate that with the orgasm. And that is not true.
This is fact.
That's not
but-
true. So
but the-
it's a lack of information. It's a lack of knowledge and understanding on the men's part, and it's just straight up lying on the women's part. Like, I think, you know, some women, they get into relationships and they're not sexually satisfied with the guy, but the relationship yields them certain benefits, you know, whether it be financial, whether it be a good look, whether it be this is the guy that wanted to get married and settle down. He wasn't a cheater. All I dealt with was cheaters in my past, you know, whatever the case is. And they kind of, you know, a lot of women have this thing that sex is not important. So they settle in that area to gain all this other stuff, only to find out, okay, now that you've satisfied all this other stuff,
So
and
you're
this
gonna go
man
cheat.
9 times out of 10 is the man that
Yeah,
you hate to have
There it
sex
is right
with,
there.
that loves the
They
most
gonna go
sex.
They're gonna go cheat. Yep, there it is right there. Thank you for saying it. They
Well,
gonna go cheat.
I don't know. I mean,
because,
I don't know.
Listen, like I said to you, I'm gonna keep echoing the same thing that I'm telling you. Okay, if marriage is the ultimate goal, right? You got to understand, if that man is truly into you, he's gonna learn you.
You're
And
not
see, where
understanding
you're letting guys escape,
me.
and you're letting women escape by lying and not addressing the issue. So if the issue is you need to learn my body and learn how to satisfy me, I'm not talking about you going out there satisfying every woman that comes along, but you in particular. If marriage is that your ultimate goal, you need to have that discussion with your man.
Right. And I think that men have a real issue with understanding that other men don't listen. You can say it until you turn blue in the face. Men do not listen. If they're into you, whatever the spiel is,
Okay.
most men, and you will see most women will say this, a lot of men do not listen to the directives that are being given
Do you know why?
because they think they know it already.
That's not why.
What's the reason?
Because y'all don't be quiet enough, long enough for us to understand something.
Well, I ain't got to be what I need. Once I tell you what I want, what else is
Because
it?
you got to understand, when you're in the communication point, I give it to you like I had a conversation with somebody the other day, okay, and they said, well, okay, the conversation is over after you say whatever you have to say, and I digest what you have to say.
Mm-hmm.
So the conversation is over. We don't need to have that conversation again. So we're going to keep having that conversation about. That's what I'm saying. And then on the back end of that whole conversation, the conversation still kept going on.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, okay, we just discussed that. I understand what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Digesting what you're saying. Let it go. Y'all to understand. So when y'all trying to communicate to a man, sometimes y'all got to be quiet. Let us do what we do in order to get you guys. You understand?
I don't know how we need to be quiet if we tell y'all what we want and then y'all go and do something else. I don't understand what is it that we need to do. I think that y'all just don't want to be held accountable for only 11% of women having.
Oh no, I can't take. Listen, I can't take onus for somebody else or what somebody else is doing. I can only take onus for myself. Hey, listen, I ain't gonna brag, but I can do whatever I do.
All right, you and Charles Huff.
Nah, Charles Huff is in a category of his own.
All right, y'all all right. So there you have it. So I think that I do have a clip. We want to possibly play
Oh, yeah,
this
we're gonna
clip
play a
because
clip for
I
you guys.
wanted to show that my sentiment is not just about, it's not just black women trying to bash black men and all this other stuff I get. I hate men. I'm a lesbian and all that. So we got a white woman that's gonna tell y'all a little bit of something. I thought this was hilarious. So we're gonna play this clip.
I ain't heard the clip, everybody. So
I got white.
I was trying to figure out what guys are figured out why guys like sex more. I think it's biological. I think it's because sex is so much better for guys. It's so much easier. Like sex is better for guys because it's so much easier for you guys to have an orgasm. Like for a guy to have an orgasm is just like, it's like you just. Pretty much all that has to happen. You just have to kind of walk into something or. There has to be like a drizzle out, Which, by the way, I have narrowed down men's orgasms to 3 basic categories. Like, there's 3 basic ones. The first one is like you just got shot in the back with an arrow. The second one is like you're puking. And the third one is a rare one, but it's for the guys that are like secretly psychos and they hate women, and it'll come out like right at the finish line, like out of nowhere. They'll be like, yeah, I love you, I need you. Yeah, shut up, you dumb whore! I'm like, oh no. I thought we were in love. But for a woman to have an orgasm, it is so hard. It is so hard to have an orgasm. It's like, I cannot wait to have one. I hear they're great. I mean, seriously, for a girl to have an orgasm, you've got to be like focused. You have to be like emotionally connected. You got to be relaxed. You got to be in great shape. And it makes it even harder because you guys watch porn and you think that the porn stars are having orgasms, but they're all faking it and they make it look so fucking easy. Like porn stars will just be like, oh, I'm coming. That's nothing. She's coming down from a meth binge. Nothing's happening to her. I can't compete with that, you know? Like, if your girl is having an orgasm, she's not going, oh, I'm coming. If your girl's having an orgasm, she's going, do not fucking move! I swear to God, I will fucking kill you. Faster, slower, tell me you love me, you better fucking mean it this time. Kiss me on the mouth, God damn it! Pull my hair, not the extensions! Shut up, you dumb whore!
Well, all right.
I thought that was hilarious and super true.
Is that true? That's how y'all
I just wanted y'all to hear
verbalized it.
from yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but I wanted y'all to hear that from a Caucasian woman, so that y'all can understand this is not just a black woman's sentiment or a black woman's bashing of black men, that this is something that we're all dealing with because of how the anatomy of the woman is, and our lack of honesty and our lack of knowledge, coupled with the man's lack of knowledge and big ego, is the reason we are not accomplishing real orgasms instead of the fake ones. So I thought that was hilarious. Y'all know that I am I got a whole bunch of it's my white side, y'all. That's my white humor. But I thought that most women would totally agree with what the sister was saying, like how hard it is. And we really so what are some tips you would give the women to try and communicate their sentiments better, since you feel like we need to be quiet?
Well, I think that, we all need to learn what different androgynous zones are in the body, because it's not just about stimulation of the clitoris or stimulation of the G-spot. It's a whole body experience when you're actually connecting to someone. Because, you can sit there and you can, like we said, go gorilla glue in it. But if her entire being isn't into that performance, or your entire being isn't being in that performance, because men have androgynous zones also. We get stimulated by certain things also.
Right.
Some people, whatever they do, that's on them. But for each partner, that partner must learn the other partner. There comes the evolution. You become involved with each other.
Right.
You're not just there trying to get off for yourself. You're also trying to make sure she has a pleasurable experience as well. It ain't just about the pound town.
Well, let's get something straight about the pound time. Okay, let's get something straight. Let me do another news flash. Y'all sisters, holler if y'all hear me. It ain't a whole lot of dudes that got a pound time. Yeah, let's be clear about that part. So it's not even just about them feeling like they just beat it, because a lot of dudes don't have a pound
It's
game.
not all about.
And they don't even have that, and then they don't have the stamina. Like when you hear the thing about 2-minute brother or whatever the case is, like that's not a joke. Like that's for real. Like 60 seconds.
That's because they're not taking care of themselves.
60 seconds and it's over.
I mean, the excitement point, you gotta understand that. Some dudes out here haven't been having sex like that, so they wouldn't even know. I mean,
but what about the ones who have? Like, what about the ones who are out here, like, their main focus is body count? but and I feel like that's a part of the problem too, is because you have men that don't stick around long enough with one woman to learn her, and to learn these different things, before they off to somebody else that they probably don't trust. So it's certain things they're not going to do, they're not going to, experience or explore, and then before they could get in tune with her body, they off to the third person, and they're never really learning. So some of them, only thing they have is a pound game, but if you 40 something going into 50 and the only thing you can do, is beat her back out like your name Raekwon, but you can't romance her like your name is Ron Isley, then I mean, I don't.
That goes back to, you gotta understand, this all goes back to acceptance and allowing. Because if you're accepting that, then guess what? That's what he's gonna do. But you also gotta understand, a man he's never too. They say that the old analogy is, you're never too old to learn something new.
You're not.
Now, if you in a situation with a dude and he's not trying to learn you, sort of say, and you got to take them scissors out and cut them loose. You got to understand that. It's not all about just the sex, when it comes to a man. It comes all the way back to your reputation also. So you got to understand, there's a lot of things that come into play when you're dealing with certain people. So if he's not at that teachable moment where he can, give in his all to you to learn you, then by all means, cut the scissors.
That's hard though. That's hard for women, like like most women, I would say. I don't think that
in this day and age,
women
it's not.
like, well, see me, I'm not trying to just be in a bed with Joe and then this didn't work out, and then so I'm like, okay, well, just on to the next, and then I'm in the bed with Schmo, and then what? Because I mean, the thing is that when you're saying cut it off and go on to the next, 9 times out of 10 we're gonna run into the same problem again. So we would prefer to try to talk and see if we could get this thing right, instead of going off to, another person. Because I mean, the fact of the matter is that the women already told you at the part, we expect for 7 out of 10 experiences to not be good experiences. So, that says that we kind of believe that 7 out of 10 men will not be, good sexual partners. Okay. So I'm not trying to just leave this one and jump over here, and then, you go from one issue, that all he knows how to do is pound, and then you go over here that he know how to do everything but pound, so it's really, really hard. Like, the lady was saying on the clip or whatever, it's very hard. And for you guys, it's very it's I'm not gonna say very easy, but it's easier for you guys to get to a climax. I mean, it is what it is.
No, you talking about busting a nut.
Okay, whatever it is, we don't do none of it. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. We're not doing any of it. So I think if we had the choice between one or the other, we would choose either one. We don't get any of it. You know what I'm saying? We don't get anything. The only thing we get is the mental or the emotional satisfaction of knowing that we pleased our partner. But as far as like the physicality and the satisfaction of the actual act itself, a lot of times a woman walks away empty-handed. And a lot of it is because men don't know the anatomy of the women.
No, a lot of that turns out to be the connection is not there.
I gotta beg to differ on that, because even when I'm connected, like if he don't know, he don't know. Like,
listen, I'm telling you, a man is gonna adjust. He ain't gonna just
Stinner. Listen, how long you been married? Adjust.
How long you been married, Disco?
Shit. 16 years.
16 years. And out of 16 years, how many times you adjust?
Shit, that's That's an everyday task, man.
every day.
I totally
But the thing is,
understand.
I communicate. Like I got even being married that long, I still got pride. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm still gonna ask my question. You good, babe? Like, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? We good. Like I want to make sure. I'm still asking questions. Still to this day.
Go ask.
You
the
don't
question.
ever assume.
But I do know all due respect to her. I do know her favorite.
Her spot.
I know her spot. I
Right.
know
You
what she
should,
like
after
best.
16 years, you better
You know what I'm
know.
saying? We go straight to it. I know she ain't no sister bullshit.
Damn right.
But you remember,
That's what I'm
remember
saying.
the couple at the park now,
Yeah.
where the lady, they was like 20 something years in,
Mhm.
and she was like 20 something years, and you still don't know how to please me.
Mhm.
You remember that?
Yes.
That is more common than you think. That's way more common than you think. And she was telling him, you don't listen. I tell you what to do, and you still do what you want to do because you don't listen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because the ego is a too big ego is a very, very dangerous thing when it comes down to men and sex.
She's gonna cheat.
Well, that's what she said.
You're gonna cheat.
That's his, is that his fear?
No, she's gonna cheat. If she's not getting her total satisfaction, she's gonna cheat.
And a real man gonna kill.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I'm not going to cheat. I'm going to leave. I'm not going to, I can't, and I struggled with that for many years, if I could be honest with you. I struggled with, because I felt like, am I being shallow? Putting so much emphasis on sexual pleasure, because as women, we're not told that that's something that we should expect. That's how rare it is.
But see,
We're more geared to being accepting, to pleasing rather than being pleased. So as a woman, like for a man, if you ask any man in society, would you be with somebody that you're not sexually satisfied with? Immediately it's a no. With a woman, it may not be that important, this and that, because in society it is not necessarily acceptable for a woman to outwardly, discuss or feel that she's requiring sexual satisfaction. Like they're looking at her like a harlot or something. You know what I'm saying? Because she knows what she wants. So, a lot of times women don't communicate the dissatisfaction for a lot of those reasons.
But see, you also gotta understand that, like I said before, that's all who you dealing with.
yeah,
If-
I was gonna piggyback what you saying, sis, that a lot of times in relationships, the other stuff outweigh that. So they can deal with the average sex,
Mhm.
but he doing everything else perfectly. So sometimes it outweigh that with some relationships.
Yeah, and it goes back to, like I was saying, it depends on what's important to the person. For a long time, I struggled with that being important to me. That is, at my age, I am okay with walking away from, a situation because that area we don't connect in. I am okay with walking away from that. But years ago, it's like, oh my God, that's kind of shallow. But it's not shallow. Society doesn't tell men that it's shallow. If he's not satisfied, they would only tell us that it's shallow if we're not satisfied. And so I just think that people, I was having a conversation the other day, and I was like, if we took 5 things, whatever 5 things we chose to pick, and we said these are the 5 things that are absolutely necessary for a successful relationship. We can put 5 things as A, B, C, D, E, now on your list, it may be in that order, A, B, C, D, E. For me, it may be, D, B, C, A, D,
Well,
so.
This day, everybody on draws start the same way.
Right.
That's what they
Exactly.
say,
So for some
I
people,
believe that.
sex may be number 5 on the list. For another person, it may be number 2 on the list. So just because it holds a higher priority for somebody else, doesn't mean the person that it holds a high priority for is wrong or bad or shallow or whatever.
That's because we've stigmatized people in society.
Right.
I mean, sexual expression, we're all not comfortable. Some of us aren't comfortable with our expression.
Mm-hmm.
So, me, I'm heterosexual. Some people might be bisexual. Some people might be asexual. Who knows? But the thing is that in the grand scheme of things, if you're not completely satisfied with who you with, and you're having that conversation, you gotta understand there's also other things that come into play with that too. Because you might be dealing with an individual that's out there working 2 jobs, and you want to come home and beat your back out 4 times a goddamn day. That shit is not. Excuse my French.
Okay,
That is not happening.
if he's tired, does that mean that maybe he don't have 4 times in him that night, but does he have 1 time in him?
Sometimes
Okay.
not.
Okay.
I mean, it depends.
So it's reasonable, that sometimes he will, even if he's tired.
Of course.
Okay. I don't know if we have anybody else that's trying to call in, but if we want to,
Let me get to some of these comments.
can we put the call-in number on the screen?
Charles.
I don't know where it went. Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go. 678-638-6626.
Patricia McKee says,
Give us a call if y'all want to give us some
That's
information.
you have to communicate with each other.
Charles says 2 minutes. What? Yes, 2 minutes is a real thing, my brother. It's not just a saying. 2 minutes is too long for some. It's not a joke. I don't want to laugh because I don't want anybody to think I'm being insensitive.
Erectile dysfunction. Yeah.
Well, that's like not even getting up at all. That's another conversation.
That's because his excitement level is up. You gotta understand that. If you
His excitement level is up.
yeah, if he finna hit that for the first time, man, he gonna hit that with dog water. Quick.
Oh,
In and
y'all
out.
got too many issues to be out here running around like
Am I lying?
jackrabbits.
What you say?
If he's excited, he gonna get off in 2 minutes.
No. I'm not talking about that. I thought you were talking about the ED. I thought you were talking about the erectile dysfunction, like not being able to get up at all.
Oh nah, there's solutions.
That's
to
some
that
health
too.
issues.
Yeah, that's a health issue.
Or drugs.
No.
It can be a lot of mental with it too, though.
Yeah.
You worry about a lot of stuff, or you just, going through whatever. You ain't focused. Both heads gotta be focused first.
Yeah.
One head the head up top ain't focused, and one on the bottom ain't focused. Damn.
He ain't gonna do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all call that we get home, y'all start all that arguing and griping and want something, we ain't thinking about y'all. It ain't gonna work. We may do out of frustration, make it work.
That'll be good.
Not. Let me ask you a question. How many men you think gonna actually admit what he just said?
Love and Loyalty wants to know what your shirt says, Stennert.
Oh, it says Storm Daddy 305.
Storm Daddy 305. What does that mean?
That's my clothing line.
What is the name?
Oh, my son's name is Storm.
Oh, that's cool. So
Yeah.
Storm's daddy. Like
Yeah.
Storm's daddy, basically. Okay.
Storm Daddy 305.
All
Clothing
right.
in the pair.
So he representing the kids and the 305.
Yeah, y'all can
All
check
right.
me out.
All right. And just off topic as well, if we have any restaurateurs out there, any food vendors that is looking for a permanent place to do business, please inbox Sean Taylor, SHUN, on Facebook. And let me know what type of food you sell. And if you're interested in a permanent location to do business with, I am looking for food vendors. So I can put that plug out there since we plugging out stuff. And my shirt, since you didn't ask what my shirt says, Love and Loyalty, my shirt says DISCO100. So I am representing for the channel, for the DJ, for the brother, for all of that, all them hats he wear. I'm representing for the DISCO100 radio family today. All right. So what I would suggest for the ladies.
Stop faking and stop lying.
Yes, yeah, y'all. I had to throw y'all under the buses. I had to do it to y'all. Y'all be lying. Y'all be faking. And y'all got these
Hey, listen,
men
I
at
just
40 thinking
wanna-
they know what they
I wanna
doing.
know.
What you want to know?
Listen, when I'm getting in that thing, I'm gonna ask you. Like I said, I'm gonna ask you.
So you
I
think?
wanna know.
Do you think a woman is actually gonna
Listen,
say?
if you know me, listen, tell me the
I'm
truth.
not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna turn my head the other way.
Nah, I want to know the truth. I want to know if you done got off. Because guess what? If you ain't get off, I'm gonna make sure you get off. That's that. I ain't even
Love
play
the
with
Lord
you.
to say she saw the daddy, so she had to ask. She wanted to know what else was with that daddy.
All right, Miss
I know
Love,
that's
Lord.
right. I want a Disco 100 shirt.
What is that? Patricia McPhee says she wants a disco.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, extra small, probably.
Charles, you was there when she said what?
Huh? She said small.
Okay. I'm telling you, you can't make this stuff.
Oh man, she said she'll go somewhere else and get it if he's not. Yeah, she sure did. The sister said if he ain't gonna do it right, get out her bed and she gonna go get somebody else that will. So I'm like, okay. And I agree with that to a certain extent. Like, get out the relationship and get somebody else. Not like just excuse him for the day and go get somebody else. I don't think, especially not to tell your husband. I think that's a little, you know. She was raw with it though. She was real with it. She definitely let it be known. So I just hope that after 20 some years, I pray that they work that out and get that all figured out. Because that's got to be a very, I know it's very difficult as a woman to be sexually frustrated in a relationship for 20 years. Oh
It
no.
happens. But see that all has a lot to do with lack of communication. Because there's no
But
way
she's
you're
been
gonna
telling
sit
them.
there. Listen, he ain't paying attention.
Well, that's what she said. He don't listen.
Well, he might be out of the house a lot too. You gotta understand, things don't be on our mind like that. So if you telling me you, like I told y'all in the beginning, you telling me you want a house, you want the car, you want the this, that, and the other. We out there trying to go and get that. We're not even worried about, okay, all this other intangible stuff. We don't be worried about that. Now, when you bring it to our attention at that moment, we're going to address it at that moment. But then guess what? When we back out there on that grind, on the hustle, you got to understand, it's a lot of things we forget. So it's not necessarily to say that you got to keep saying it over and over and over again. It's just the mere fact that you have to bring it back to our attention so, we can focus on it right then.
So we're having this conversation, and I guess this is one of those disclaimer moments where we're talking about men that are receptive to the information, not the majority of men that come in with their egos and think they already know. So we talking about a different type of dude, because I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over that men don't listen. So I'm going to just throw a disclaimer out there to say that your
here you
sentiment is coming for
Here she go with
men.
this.
I'm just
Here
saying
she go.
because
Okay.
y'all did it when we were talking about why women cheat. Y'all kept saying we need to communicate, we need to say this, we need to do this, we need to do that, and we kept saying y'all don't listen. So I'm putting the disclaimer out there that he's talking about men that are open and receptive to the information that his woman is giving. Men that want to truly please their woman in the way she wants to be pleased, not in the way he thinks she wants to be pleased or the way that he wants to please her.
Okay, now if you got a man that's sitting there saying to you that, man, I ain't with that, all this, that, that's not a man for you. Let me be honest with you.
Listen,
Right,
y'all,
correct.
it's hard out here for a pimp. Let me tell you.
I'm just saying, if he's telling you, nah, I ain't trying to get you to that point.
Sis, I don't want no details. I really don't. But real quick, would you actually stop somebody? Like, bro, that's it. In the middle of everything.
Yes.
You would seriously stop somebody.
Hell yes.
That's cold shit.
Yes.
Cold as ice, man. I'm telling you.
No, y'all have to listen.
I swear to God, whoever he is, if it happened, that brother ain't good for a long time.
Right, she
Well,
gonna damage you
listen,
psychologically.
Just
listen, like y'all have to understand. Listen very, very
cold.
carefully. Listen.
that's cold as shit.
That's cold as ice.
I got a few of those under my belt.
Oh,
Okay,
my God.
I got a few of those instances under my belt. But it is, if a woman is not being properly pleasured, whether it be oral or penetration, it is one of the worst feelings in the world. Like you almost feel like you're about to jump out of your skin, like from an oral standpoint. Like if he's not doing the oral right, listen, it's like you know how it sounds when somebody's scratching their nails on the board, and that feeling you get like, that's how it feels.
Really?
You know, yes, it's a horrible feeling.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
never
like it's
experienced that.
hard to endure that. That's very hard. You know, it's not a good feeling at all. You know, it's oh my goodness, it's hard to
Well, what you think we go through when you're putting teeth on it?
I can get that.
Oh Lord.
I can get
I really
that.
want to talk.
I can get that. I totally understand that. So just imagine your anatomy is not open like ours.
Correct.
So if teeth hurt you, you know, and you're feeling some type of pain, then imagine what we're feeling when our anatomy is wide open to the inside of us. You know what I'm saying? And there's some, and please, y'all, clean y'all fingernails, cut them, keep your hands clean. If you're a smoker, please wash your hands before you touch a lady's genitals, because genitalia, whatever you want to call it, them tobacco hands, them marijuana hands, whatever else hands, them tool hands, them front doorknob hands, all of that stuff is uncomfortable. Keep your hands moisturized, keep your hands clean, all of that. Like that stuff is not healthy for the female parts. If you smoke cigarettes and you go and touch your girl and you got tobacco on your hands, you could possibly throw her whole pH balance off. You know, keep your hands clean, please, please, please. Before you touch your woman, please wash your hands, please. I just had to throw that out there because I was just kind of like thinking about it. However, it is not, I mean, we have to stop y'all sometime because it is just painful. You know, or the feeling is the opposite. Like if you've ever felt the opposite of what a great sensation feels like sexually, if you've ever felt the opposite of that, like that's what we feel, like the opposite, you know. And so it's only so much of that you can endure. Like as if somebody was rubbing their teeth against you. Like how long do you think you're going to be able to endure that?
Oh nah, I ain't, you finna get up.
Then that's what it is.
Nah, you ain't. I'm good.
So just imagine most of our occurrences feel like that.
Sean Taylor, SHN on Facebook.
All right.
And
Hello, caller.
Tell them to turn their
Turn your background off. Turn your background off.
location to
turn your volume down.
Go ahead, who's calling?
Yo, this is Charles Huff.
How you doing, Charles?
What's up, Disco? What's going on with you, bro?
Good, bro. What you got to say? Let
What's
everybody
going
listen
on,
to you.
Charles?
Hey, I'm just calling in because we've been talking about climax tonight and pounding and all that, but I haven't heard anyone speak of oral sex because that's just another way
They
to
both-
make a
they
woman
both
come.
just did.
Yeah, we
It's
just talked
delayed.
about oral.
Oh, it's delayed.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, though. It's
Go ahead.
delayed.
Okay, well, just from oral sex and sucking toes and stuff like that, then you got to really get nasty with it when you bring the syrup, the ice. You know what I'm saying? It's different things to, when it comes to sex. And I don't mean to get raw, that's just like, a lot of times we tend to just want to form in the bedroom, but sometimes you got to take it outside the bedroom. You know what I mean? You can sit on the washing machine and put the washing machine on spin, You know what I mean? So it's just certain things. And like I said, when it comes to sex, a real man gonna take his time to know a woman's body.
Oh my God.
It's like Sean spoke on. A lot of men don't even know that a woman has more than just the clitoris. And so when you take the time to study the body, then you will know these things. And when it comes to putting it down, you ain't always got a pound. You know what I mean? And so I just wanted to, say that because that's one thing. It's just like a hobby. Whatever your hobby is, you're going to take pride in, and you're going to always give it your best shot. Just like you said, Disco, with the 3 stripes, you know what I'm saying? You're going to go down fighting. So whatever it is that you like to do, you know what I'm saying, then you're going to do your best at all times. And I just wanted to reach out to, most of the men, if you claim that, you handling your business, take the time to learn a woman's body. You know what I mean? And whatever she tell you she likes, then, try to get to know the woman's body. You know what I'm saying? But because it's more than one way to make a woman come by just pounding and by sticking your penis in. You know what I'm saying? You can lick in a woman's ears and make her come if you know what you're doing. And I just wanted to say that.
I agree with you.
I appreciate you calling.
Appreciate the call.
The support, man.
Yeah, we definitely have to agree with him. Now the only we back rolling down the hill because
Got up the hill, huh?
yeah, we went up the hill, but we got to come back down because now we got to talk about the guys that don't know how to perform oral.
That's a fear.
Yeah, because really, Sean, it's a lot of guys that, you know what I'm saying, they really don't. It's just like they know about the clitoris, but they don't know when to speed up, when to slow it down, when to blow on it. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm going to give y'all a hint. I'm going to give y'all a hint for the men that's listening. If the woman has had an orgasm orally from you performing oral, and she's pushing your head away, and she's squirming and pulling back and all this stuff, please don't allow your ego to tell you to keep going. Please stop.
Exactly.
Please stop. Like, I know your ego thinks that, oh my God, I'm doing a great job, I could keep this going, but no, that's back to that horrible feeling I was telling you. That's a overwhelming, and it does not feel good. You have to give her a cooling off period, maybe penetrate her at that point, but you got to lay off the clitoris right then. Okay, the clitoris needs a break. It's going through convulsions and it's doing backflips and cartwheels. You have to go ahead, unless she tells you to keep going. You gotta stop. Thank you for calling, Charles. We got another caller calling.
We got another call.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charles, for calling. Good evening, caller.
Hey, G-Spot, this is Freaky V. How y'all doing?
Oh, my goodness. I know exactly who this is.
Miami to Atlanta?
Yes, it is.
It's about to go down.
Ooh, I ain't ready. Let me make sure I'm sitting down, Lord. Jeez.
Come on with it.
Y'all can hear me okay?
We sure can.
Great. Thank you for calling.
Awesome.
We appreciate you calling.
I'm not even sure where to begin. I'll begin with, first I do want to say I heard your commentary. Sean, about not faking. Mm-hmm. And I get it. I really wish that I could not fake an orgasm. I faked plenty of orgasms because I am undersexed and not satisfied. I have very few male companions who are able to satisfy me the way that I desire. Mm-hmm. And because I do feel the need to stroke the male ego, I will fake a nut like an actress quick just to get you up off of me so that I can call in backup and get the job done.
Back up.
Listen.
Let her finish.
Say that again.
Go ahead. Sis.
Go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm definitely, I would love to get to the point. I keep saying that these guys do need to come out of that false sense of I'm King Ding-a-ling when really you're not.
Preach.
And because we do feed into their ego, and because we're not honest with them, they honestly think that, they tearing all these bitches down out here. And that's not the case. Really, it's not. It's not at all. But we do fake orgasms. Yes, we do.
Okay. Why not have that conversation?
Let her tell you, because I done told you a million times. Go ahead and tell him, Miss B, why you ain't having this conversation if you not.
Sweep his ass up. Cut him loose.
Say that again. So I said what now?
He's saying why not have that conversation, and I keep telling him that we have the conversation, and because you said they come in like King Dingling, they don't listen.
So, my conversation really is action after the fact. If we were talking every day and trying to feel the vibe and set this sex session up, and then I wasn't happy, then I'm no longer answering or returning your calls after the fact.
You cold-hearted too.
That's the way. I am a savage, and I tell the guys that up front. So if you don't get a return call, then you know that your sex was trash. So that's the way that I do it. I prefer not to do it in your face, so to say, because I don't know what type of reaction that I'm going to get. Sometimes men can be violent. You got to understand this is their ego.
Yes.
That you're messing with. So men can become violent. I've had men to call me out of my name. Like, bitch, who the fuck you think you talking to, or whatever. Your pussy ruined. You garbage or whatever. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of taking responsibility for your actions, you want to now be the victim. So I just, I fake the nut, get it over with, and then, I put your number as do not answer in my phone.
Right.
So that way we can move forward and on to the next. And that's not just me. It's a lot of women that I have conversations with, and I have a lot of them. And this is the response that I'm getting back. So this is why we don't tell you that. So it has its pros and its cons. If we don't say anything, like Sean said, then, you walk out thinking that you've done something. But in reality, we actually have you in our girl chat, and we talking you out, talking about how your dick is trash. So we could save our girlfriends the hustle, the stress of getting with you.
That part right there. So what is some of the advice you would like to give the men on how they could help women accomplish the big O?
God,
don't give us the
men
key.
are not willing to. They're not receptive to learning at all. You want your women to listen, but when we come to you, you really have a problem with you're receptive to what our needs and desires are. And I get it. When you feel that you have perfected the craft of sex, nobody has told you, that you are falling short. It's hard to get a complaint because you don't believe it. So be willing to listen and also be willing to do a little bit of research. Black people already have a problem with reading. Or whatever. We don't like to educate ourselves or whatever. There's so many different materials out here that can educate you on how to please your significant other at the time. And be willing to have a conversation. It's a difficult conversation to have.
It is.
But it has to be had.
Yeah.
I think. Especially if it's somebody that you're willing to spend long term with. Like, I'm not willing to spend time with anybody if your dick is trash. I'm sorry. Like, we have nothing in common. Sex is not the most important thing, but damn, it is 80%. Everything else we could work out from that. But if I'm not happy sexually, what the fuck we doing?
You're wasting time.
Ask her.
That's it.
How old are you? Might I ask?
44.
She's 44.
44. Yeah, I mean, I think when women get to a certain age, I would say like definitely over 40. Like, listen, I really don't have a lot of time to be teaching and training and molding and, especially when you're coming in with this whole, I know what I'm doing, perfect example, like, I was having an experience and I previously said like my legs need to be down doing oral, and I mean, he did what he wanted to do. He put him up because his ego told him, I'm gonna put him up, and she gonna fly all over the room, and it's gonna be 4th of July, and it was a funeral. I told you, I gave you a hint. I gave you the cheat sheet. If you do this, I'm 50% there. You go and do what you want to do because your ego, it's your ego, told you, I'm gonna put these legs up and I'm gonna do it like this, and then okay. And and
I do want to piggyback off of something that I'm not familiar with the gentleman that was speaking earlier, but it is important for men to take care of themselves health-wise. All of these underlying conditions does affect your sexual performance. The fact that you are a diabetic and you're on insulin, or you have heart disease and high blood pressure, things of that nature, it will affect your performance. Well, just because you come in and say, "Hey, I'm a diabetic," and you just got to deal with it, no, the fuck we not.
Right.
We want what the hell we want. So if you can, if it's not important enough to you to please your spouse, by whatever means necessary, you got to do that. So how important is it to you?
Right. Well, he was asking, that's Disco, he was asking if those things that you mentioned affect women the same way. And health issues affect women, but they affect women in a different way. We have to make sure that we're eating the right foods. And we have to make sure that we're drinking enough water so that we can stay, flowing and lubricated on the inside. So those are the things that we have to do.
Fresh.
And fresh and tasting, because a woman's diet, if you dealing with a woman and all she eat is trash food, McDonald's, Burger King, and hot wings, extra wet, lemon pepper, and all that, she probably, don't taste very well. So a woman, if she
or you could get a well balanced fat girl like myself that eat whatever the fuck they serving. So I eat McDonald's and Burger King, but I eat pineapples and salad and all that shit.
Exactly.
So even though I am a big girl, I don't have any underlying, conditions. Thank God, I don't have any high blood pressure or diabetes or anything like that. So I'm not willing to, accept that I'm not going to accept that as an excuse, as to why you can't perform.
Right. Yeah, you definitely have to have a diet as for women that's full of fruits and vegetables and water. That's very, very important to maintain your moisture as well as how you taste, So you can do, your occasional fast food or whatever, but I'm speaking more so of the ones that do that and they don't eat any fruits and vegetables. That's a problem. But yeah, I definitely agree with everything that you said. Hopefully we can continue to have these conversations and hopefully come to some type of common ground, because I still don't think the men have allowed their walls to come down to be receptive to this conversation. So our engineer is calling for a part 2 that we probably need to pick up right at the point of satisfying women. You know, that may be the you know, how to truly satisfy a woman and how to locate different spots on her. He said bring a mannequin in. I actually have another video. I'll send that to you for next week, but it actually shows where the G spot is.
Okay, this is gonna be a G-rated show, huh?
G?
Yeah. I'm saying it's gonna be a G-rated show.
They taught it in school, didn't it?
Oh, they didn't learn that.
Well, I think that all the boys were missing on that day of sex education because they don't know where it's at. They were all absent or at PE during that time. So they got an A in football and an F in the G spot. Okay. So yeah. So we thank you so much for calling. We are
Wrapping it.
yeah, we're gonna wrap it up.
Ms. V.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
your
You got to call back for the next show because we're gonna be diving into this. We got another show that's been added by request.
So we'll probably
Okay,
address that.
I got you.
All right. Thank you so much, hon. Have a good night.
Good night.
You as well.
So we want to thank you guys. You got any words or anything else you guys want to say before we close out?
It's the G spot, baby.
So thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the G Spot,
It's the growth spot.
where you got to grow
Or
or
you
you got
got to
to
go.
go.
Good
Good
night.
night.